A lot of e-commerce brands tend to overcomplicate email. They think maybe more design, add more copy, or just come up with more tactics. Snow, who I'm going to be showing you today, didn't do that. They built a simple campaign system that helped drive over $100 million in revenue, and it's way less flashy than you'd expect. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact email playbook they use and what you should steal today. But first of all, a bit of context. Why can you trust me? I'm Daniel. I run head of retention at Hayes Media, and we've been scaling e-commerce brands 7, 8, 9 figures beyond for the past 5+ years with paid ad and email and SMS marketing. You can see an example here of a brand that we've been working with. I'm going to refresh the screen. You can see the total revenue. We're up 11% this year, doing over $1 million in revenue. And then email is just around $400,000, which is at 32.52% of their attributed revenue, and 48.6% increase compared to last year. We're all about scaling year over year, month over month. Now, if you want to scale your e-commerce brand, you can do by starting with a free complimentary audit by clicking the link below. Click a time to book a chat with me and Jordan, and we will find out where you're leaving money on the table and how you can improve it with actionable insights delivered to you. Over a quick call. In this video, it's not going to be a teardown of one clever email. This is going to be a system with 3 formats, each one doing a very specific job. And once you see it, it's actually quite obvious, which makes it very dangerous. So quick context, Snow's founder, Josh Snow, has a clear philosophy. He treats every customer like an investor. Talk to them, understand their life, and build an actual relationship. That philosophy shows up directly in their emails. The playbook that Snow used are between 3 different campaign types. Nothing fancy, just 3 different types. Just founder letters, plain text emails from Josh himself that read like actual correspondence. 2, where we have promotion blasts. These are like your holidays every month, having a sale period where it's discount-led, urgency-driven conversion plays. This is what's going to make up a lot of your revenue. And then the value play, the last point, where you have a value or identity play. This is lifestyle positioning that sells the outcome, never, ever not the product. Obviously, you will position the product in there, but it sells the outcome first. So let's have a look at the play and the first play, which is the founder letter. This is a very quiet killer, and I use this a lot for our brands. Essentially, plain text emails sent from Josh with no design, no buttons screaming at you work. And we know it works because it leads with the reader's problem. It comes across very personal and anti-corporate. In this case, you've got this one opening with empathy. If you've been burned by whitening products that made your teeth hurt for days, I get it. Then it reframes the problem. Most people assume sensitivity is just a part of the process, but Josh calls this out as a myth. He says most people think sensitivity is just part of the process. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking, but here's what's actually happening. Your enamel gets thin from aggressive brushing, acidic foods, or harsh whitening products that use way too much peroxide. The good news, you can get this wide smile you want without wincing every time you drink something cold or take a bite of food. So what has he done here? He's basically took around like a thought that most people have or assume around sensitivity. First of all, he's identified the problem. You know, everyone's aware that when you use whitening products, you have sensitive teeth. Now he's talking like a common thought, which is the myth that people may be thinking, which is, you know, it's because of this, it's because of that. And then he positions Snow's Gold Serum as the solution. The proof, and how does he back that up, is he uses a customer testimonial from Patty, who'd wanted to whiten their teeth for 12 years since quitting smoking, but couldn't find anything that worked for sensitive teeth. Here you can see here, our customer is very best. Patty told us been wanting to whiten for 12 years since I quit smoking, but couldn't find anything with no sensitivity that actually worked. The reason this works as well is it doesn't feel too much like marketing. It feels like someone trying to help you not mess up or screw up again. And then what you can steal is going with a founder-led approach where you understand the reader's problem and you talk about it, not necessarily about your product. So if your audience has a common objection that keeps them from buying, build an entire email around dismantling it and then sign it from someone with a face and a name, and also add social proof to it. Where can you find these common objections and common things that your audience are talking about? I would say Reddit is a really, really good place to find out information within your niche. Okay, within your skin, if you're a skincare company, you can find a lot of conversations happening in Reddit. You can see a lot of myths in there, a lot of misconceptions, and learn what it is that your audience are thinking about and then turn it into an email. The second play that Snow used is where we talk about selling the identity and not the product. And this one is smarter than most people realize, because Snow's New Year email didn't sell white teeth. It sold identity. Here we say, skip the overhaul, keep what actually works, which is really, really clever. And instead of leading in with whitening, they were leading with like behavior psychology in this sense. They're selling to the kind of person who builds sustainable habits instead of chasing dramatic transformations. They've nailed their target audience. They know exactly who their ideal customer type is, their customer avatar is, exactly who they need to be talking to every single time. What can you steal? Find the cultural moment everyone else is exploiting. For New Year's, new me, you're thinking about what most brands are doing, right? They're thinking about resolutions, fresh starts, big promises. Then what you should do is zig the other way, go the other way and sell the smarter alternative. Sell who someone becomes by choosing you. And that's different for every brand. In this case, Snow, they're not selling a whitening product that works overnight with asterisks, guaranteed results and an asterisk, and you see a big long disclaimer, right? They're selling to their ideal customer type. Is that someone who builds sustainable habits. It fits into your everyday lifestyle, and that's exactly how they're positioning the product. You can see here that they've gone deeper. January is full of ambitious resets. They're calling out the general norm that fade by week 2. The habits that last are simple, fit into real life without asking for motivation or discipline. Right? Like you're kind of saying, look, this is how easy it is to get started with Snow. And then they basically position and then why it's designed. Like no one wants, especially if someone's going to buy your product, they have a problem they want it solved. They want it solved by buying your product, right? They don't want to buy your product that then creates another problem that they then go have to sell, right? If like, for example, I'm buying a white teeth product and then I hear all these myths like the one before where it's like, oh, I'm going to get sensitive teeth. Then I have another problem by buying your product. I've just bought Snow and I have sensitive teeth. And the real smart thing is they know, right? They know, they've been thinking, once someone buys our product, what problems could they potentially have by buying our product? What new problems could be created? And then this is where they do the founder-led plain text to basically say, this is a common thought, but it's not going to happen with our product, right? The goal is, first of all, hopefully have a great product that solves problems and doesn't create more problems. If you do, fantastic. All you have to do then is just identify all the common objections people have for owning your product and the other problems that it could create and just create emails around it. And then also see how it fits into their daily life. And this is what Snow did here. Now, play 3 is the credibility stats promo. They're doing discount-led approaches every single month, but they don't just blast out a promo with a crazy offer attached to it. They have strategy behind it. Here we have up to 64% off site-wide, a huge, great offer. It's clear, it's aggressive, there's no confusion. But look at what comes next. You've got retail logos here from Nordstrom, from Revolve, from Amazon, from Costco. I mean, Costco is a huge one to be a part of. You have guarantees, you have free shipping, you have free gifts, like just value after value after value. The discount is what will get the click here, but then the credibility as well as the value stacking is what closes the sale. So this is really, really cool. If you can do more of this in your promo emails where you have the offer clear, stack it with some credibility, and then also have more value. It could be your brand promises, if you do free shipping, if you do guarantees, if you have refund policy, all these are things that customer support. These are all things you could put here, or another offer. Maybe you have another evergreen offer that's running live. The main thing that you can steal is pair urgency with proof, lead with the offer to get the click, and then stack validation below the fold to convert the skeptics. Here are the 3 tactics with the one playbook and the key takeaways that you can take from today's video. Snow's campaign strategy isn't complicated. It's very simple. They rotate between simple formats and each one does a specific job. They have the founder letter that builds trust by not looking like marketing. It's talking about common objections, and it's plain text, and it feels personal, and it reads as if you are the reader. Second point is the identity play. Sell who you want to become. The identity play is selling the customer what they want to become, not what you're buying. Look, really understand your target audience and who it is that they aspire to be, and then you can frame emails with identity plays around that, like the Snow's New Year email example where it didn't promise whiter teeth. It promised you'll be the kind of person who builds habits that stick. That identity claim is much harder to reject than like a transformational promise, for example. Third point is the credibility stacked promo, where you're pairing urgency with some kind of social proof to build trust with your brand, that you're not just giving away free discounts and trying to desperately convert people, but you actually have a trust badges below it, as well as a satisfaction guarantees and different brand promises to really back up why it is you're so confident about your product. Because the discount will get the click, but the trust badge is what helps closes the sale and keeps customers coming back, which is the most important point. Again, last points you can steal here is the problem first copy. If your audience has an objection, keeping them stuck, don't just bury it in FAQ. Give it center stage and dismantle it, and you can send that in a plain text email from the founder. The second point is zig when they zag. Find the cultural moment that everyone is exploiting in that moment, and then position yourself as a smarter alternative. Again, new year, new me. There's many different angles. Valentine's Day as well. There's different things you can do. For example, Valentine's Day is always about couples. Does it have to be always about couples? Isn't it originally about the idea of love? Love for oneself, love for one another, love for family. Like, is there any other way that you can use what everyone's exploiting around Valentine's Day and position it in a unique angle? And then the third point is back up your discounts. Don't just give away amazing discounts. Back it up with why you're confident about your product and your brand. And you can do that in the terms of social proof from reviews of your customers, where you've been featured, if it's news outlets or different stores in physical store outlets, and also having some brand promises, right? Some reasons why people keep coming back to purchase from you. Now, if your campaigns feel random and if every email is trying to do everything, this video is your fix. Not more creativity, just having some more structure around your email campaign strategy. And at Hays, this is how we think about retention. We think in systems, not one-off ideas. Now, if you want to see where your email strategy is leaking money, we're offering complimentary audits right now. Click the link below or head over to our website, hazeme.co. Now, before you go, I have one question for you. Which of these 3 plays are you underusing right now? Drop your answer in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.